Namaskar, everybody. My name is Ashish Vidyarthi, and I'm very happy to meet you there, right here in Jaipur. And today we're going to have a small conversation on this very interesting word that you see here written, vulnerable. Haven't we seen people who are vulnerable? Yes or yes? We've seen lots of people who are vulnerable, and we say that person is vulnerable. Therefore, that thing happened. So if you look a little deeper and try and understand what is vulnerable, so consider being vulnerable. And haven't we met people who are vulnerable? Yes or yes? A lot of people, vulnerable. That person is so vulnerable. Therefore, that happened. So let's try and understand what could be a definition of vulnerable. So vulnerable, if you look up, these are the kind of words that come up. The person is endangered, unprotected, is defenseless. Any idea what kind of things come up for us when we find somebody is endangered? Poor guy, right? Yes or yes? Poor guy. What will happen to that person? That person is unprotected. That person is defenseless. Okay, this is, what do we want to do with such a person who is in this kind of stages, who's vulnerable? We got to take care of that person. Yes or yes? We got to take care. That person needs to be taken care of. That person cannot manage on their own. That person is also susceptible. Anything can happen anytime. That person is also at the mercy of. At the mercy of. Which means it all depends on the world what they do with that person. That person is at the mercy of the world. Now comes the interesting part. Look, I'm an actor. I hate describing others. I take all conversations to me. How does it impact me? So therefore the question here is that if all these descriptions are for them, like they are like that, they are like that, they are like that, it's okay. But my question to you is, how is it impacting how I am? And I think that is a critical part of any conversation that we engage in. We may try and understand things from a perspective of what they are feeling, what they are going through, what they should do, or what they shouldn't. How about taking each conversation to a zone called, how would it be impacting me? So, let us get back to those words again, and now look at it from I am. Imagine if I am endangered, if I am unprotected, if I am defenseless, if I am susceptible, if I am at the mercy of, if I am there, what would the world look like to me? It's a dangerous world. It's a world in which I am poor me. I'm not just me, I am poor me. That is something which world can get at me for. So you know what I will do? Those are the chinks in my armor. So what I will do is I will hide it, lest you find out. But have you noticed in life, whatever that we tend to hide, it comes back and it shows up for others. And therefore, nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden, yet we are living a life which is a lie. Let's face one thing. Why is it that we want to hide the vulnerable in us? The vulnerable that each one of us has. The vulnerability that each one of us has. Why do we want to hide it? Any idea? Because we feel that it doesn't make us equal to somebody else. We feel it makes us smaller. Can I break a myth for you? Dear friends, world is not about equals. In fact, life itself is nothing to do with equality. Every part of us, even this body, nothing is equal. Something is more important, something else is less important. But yet, can we do without those less important things either? No, we can't. So let us try and disrupt this conversation called that since I am not equal, I'll try to hide the things which makes me unequal. So I will share something about myself. I am left-handed. I know a lot of people, in fact, most people are right-handed, aren't we? Whole lot of people. But I am left-handed, which also means my right hand is not as strong as this left hand. You know what? Not just am I left-handed, another thing about me is that I'm dark. This is the complexion of my skin. Another thing about me is that I am 92.5 kgs, or a little more, or slightly less, but still in that zone. I'm also 5 feet 9 inches. That's right. I am 5 feet 9 inches, 92 point some, this thing, this is this color of my skin. And another very interesting thing, I work in 11 languages as an actor, but I only know 3 of those. 8 languages I don't. I'm also left-handed. Guess what? Did it stop me from living my life fully? A question. Did it? Because what is there is what is there. And those things we carry with ourselves on our journey. So that thing that you wish to hide, which has really happened in your life, is a fact which we are carrying with us. It has no extra value for you if you don't feel sorry for yourself. Vulnerability is a thing, when we try and hide it, we accentuate it. When I discovered I was a left-handed person, I started doing the things with my left hand. I managed to do things what I would try and not accomplish with my right hand. Left hand was not a shortcoming for me. I wanted to be an actor. But in India, there's a lot of things about, we talk a lot about complexion. But I was the color of the skin that I was. When I stopped feeling sorry for it, that's when I could step out and say that I will be an actor. Also, actors have a certain height. Actors have a certain weight. I have looked this way throughout my 26 years of my career. In that journey of my life, I have seen if I can carry my vulnerability and in fact turn that to my advantage, my life becomes different. Because for me, life is a journey between where I am at this very moment and what I am committed to. Each one of us is at one place with our strengths and with our vulnerabilities. And yet there is a place that we want to reach, that place that we are committed to. Consider between where each one of us is and where we are committed to be. That is the journey called life. And what if vulness can be the source? So vulness is the etymological root of the word vulnerable. Vulnus in Latin means wound. Wound to the observer is that there is something wrong with it. That person it's something wrong that is there. On the other hand, if I am that vulnus, if I am that wound, if I am this weight, if I am this language, if I am this background of mine, which I'm not ashamed of, then I can build from this. Each one of us has come from a different background. We come from a different lineage, different families, different schools. And yet, as we start off in life, somebody is saying something about us. In spite of what they say, our commitment is to develop ways to achieve what we really want to do in our life. So as I started working in films, in languages which I didn't know, I started developing ways to do it. They are not the typical classical ways of acting, because in acting you must know the language, you must know the pronunciation, but I didn't have that. So I developed methodologies. I started taking prompting. And now my lip is perfect when it comes. I don't say that's the right way of doing it. It is something which I developed and did more than 230 films in languages which I do not know or understand. The critical part of life is to develop ways to achieve in spite of that shortcoming called our vulnerability. Because life for me is not just what I want to do, it is what I do with what I have. In fact, to take it a step further, life and creative life is what all you do with what you have. So this person does many things with what he has. He's not just feeling sorry for the things that he doesn't have, feeling sorry for the fact that he's overweight, or he's this height, or he doesn't know that languages. It is the variety of things that I can do with what I have. So the invitation here is absolutely and simple. People will brand. People will call you vulnerable. People will say that, oh, that person doesn't know that. That is that person's weakness. The choice is ours. Do we want to get branded by others? Will we be defined by that? Or will we create something so extraordinary, which is us? So for me, when people brand me, I say thank you. Thank you for your point of view, but I will not be branded by you. Because I am Ashish Vidyarthi. And my full name actually is, my name is Ashish Vulnerable Vidyarthi. And vulnerability is something which I no longer hide. I've discovered vulnerability is an ornament of mine if I choose not to hide it. In fact, I would love to wear my vulnerability in front of everyone, for people to really get that these pearls, which are mine, are mine. And my life will be about celebrating these pearls. They are pearls because I respect it. They are pearls. They wouldn't be pearls if I keep them hidden inside, I hope nobody finds out. But when I'm open about it, when I say that my name is Ashish Vulnerable Vidyarthi, there is nothing hidden from the entire world. So can I give you an invite too? Can you say this for yourself? That since I am Ashish Vulnerable Vidyarthi and I am extraordinary, can I invite you to add your name to my name is? Can we have the first name, please? Vulnerable, surname. Got it? And I am extraordinary. Can we all read this together with your own names? So my name is Satish, vulnerable, whatever, and I am extraordinary. Can we just speak that? 1, 2, 3. Please speak that for yourself. Really feel this, that there is nothing to be ashamed of. That vulnerability which someone said is your vulnerability. It can become your string of pearls if you wear it with Shan. And can we just speak that again, once again? My name is, please. Exactly. And I am extraordinary, because that's the name of the game. Because my life is an expression of me. My life is not an apology that I want to give to the world because of the certain vulnerabilities that I have. My friends, there is no one in this world who is not vulnerable. But the people who make the most of what they have create extraordinary futures, not just for themselves, but for people at large. My invite to myself is the same that I'm going to invite you for, is that wear your vulnerability. In fact, inspire others to wear their vulnerabilities. Remember, we are not amongst perfect human beings. We are not amongst the perfect world. but we are amongst extraordinary human beings who are extraordinary in spite of their vulnerabilities. So thank you for being here in this conversation, and look forward to meeting vulnerable you in this vulnerable world as we all create an extraordinary life together. Thank you.